Good morning, everybody. Phi Farley here. It is April 9th. It's Monday, and we're back at the action. We got four teams, or four spots, five teams in the West, trying to narrow down, of which all are playing today. We got the Thunder on the road at the Heat. We got Memphis taking on Minnesota at home. We got the Kings at the Spurs, and then we got Nuggets at home against the Blazers, and Pelicans on the road at LA. I'll be getting to one of those games here as my official pick for the day. Real quick, yesterday was an awful day. I've noticed that Sundays, the last few weeks, has been a bad day. Went 0-3 yesterday, but they were tough. There was some tough lines. I was expecting it to be a little bit easier. I thought for sure I had the Phoenix Golden State win, but that's the way it goes sometimes. And so trying to bounce back today, make sure I end the NBA season on a good note, or the regular season anyway. So real quick, get into today's games. There's two games that I have interest in, of which I'll make a play here right now. This will be my only video of the day. If I want to make another play, I'll just throw it down in the comments today. By the way, just real quick on the comments, really appreciate hearing from you guys. A lot of positive support and good feedback. If there's anything to improve the video or something else you'd like to see, just let me know in the comments. But really good to see some positive support there. It's kind of nice, good to know someone's getting some value out of these videos. Like I said, this is 20 years that I've been capping games and watching lines and tracking lines. And so if I could share some expertise and help someone else win a game or two, great. So the two games I want to look at today, the first is Bulls at the Nets. So the Nets embarrassed the Bulls last week. They shot 24. They made 24 three-pointers. They shot like 53. They made 24 of them. One away from a record, an NBA record set by the Cleveland Cavaliers. So they shot lights out. They shoot a lot of threes. They're on a record-setting year for three shot. Now that said, they have never won this season. They have never won 3 straight games. Making and shooting a lot of threes doesn't always mean that they equate to wins. If you break down their percentages, the more threes they shoot, often they'll end up losing those games. So, and then maybe they get dependent on the three, but for whatever reason, they're 0-6 in these third straight games to try and get a win. And we have the Bulls who were playing decent basketball before the Nets came into town, in which I was on the Nets in that game, and I said they were going to shoot lights out from three. The Bulls were on a back-to-back, traveling on the road, then coming back home, and were caught flat-footed. So here we have them going on the road now. I look for the Bulls to bounce back and cover the 7.5. I wouldn't doubt Vegas is throwing in an extra, 3 points, 4 points because of that embarrassing win or the embarrassing loss to the Bulls. So they're probably throwing an extra couple points on that line. So I would look at the Bulls in a play on that one. I'll post it if this line continues to be the way it is. Right now it opened up at 8.5, has dropped down to 7.5 in favor of the Nets. So the other game, the one I want to make a play on here today, right now, real quick, is New Orleans Pelicans on the road at LA Clippers. And this has everything to do with LA Clippers and not a whole lot to do. Well, the Pelicans are playing well. Pelicans are playing really well. They're also in must-win mode. And they have the hardest path. If we were to go back about 4 games, they have the hardest path to make the last spot in the West. You could say Denver does because they end the season at Minnesota. But right now, New Orleans just played Golden State, who they haven't beaten in like a few years, and they beat them on the road. And then they go right to LA. But what's great is LA just lost and eliminated themselves out of the playoffs. So they're going to play a team that for the first time in the last 3 weeks with injuries has just been band-aiding this season to try and make that playoff run. And they did a okay job. But now, they've lost 4 of the last 5, and the Clippers are just not, they're just not putting out a good showing. New Orleans, on the other hand, is playing very well. They thumped Phoenix, they thumped Memphis. Good win at Golden State, coming back from behind. Meanwhile, the Clippers lost to Denver by, 19? They lost to Utah by 22. Good win against San Antonio, then lost to Indianapolis or Indiana by 7. And then Portland by 9. I don't think 7.5 is going to be a problem. I'm checking all the books, just going across. I see both 7.5 and 8, so it's probably going to keep bumping up. 82% of the money is on New Orleans. 79% of the tickets on New Orleans. A little bit heavier money coming in on New Orleans. And I think that's a fade of the Clippers. That's my take on it. Fade of the Clippers. I saw Duck Rivers' quotes. I saw what he said. I'm hoping my team protects the league and puts out a good show tonight. Hope and might and wish are all nice thoughts. But when you really don't have anything to play for, and you've been just scraping to play and put out a product each week for as long as the Clippers have, they're going to exhale. They're going to just totally, I think, exhale here. So I'm going with the Pelicans minus 7.5. That's my play of the day here. For the day, if there's any other plays I have for the day, again, I'm looking at the Bulls plus 7.5. If there's any other plays, though, as I watch these lines, Thunder on the road at the Heat. Heat's a tough place to win. But Thunder, it's minus 3.5 right now, with bigger money coming in on the Heat. I'll continue to watch that line. I'll throw it down in the comments. All right. Good luck, everybody. I'd love to hear what you have. Love to hear some feedback. Throw it down in the comments. I'll see you again soon.